Welcome, Genesis International College students. Today, we're diving into this explainer on CPCCPD3028, Apply Decorative Paint Finishes, and we're focusing squarely on Topic 1, Plan and Prepare. Why? Well, because meticulous planning and preparation are the absolute foundations for mastering literally any decorative paint finish. If you want to create truly incredible, professional-grade work, the magic actually starts long before your brush ever touches the wall. In the real world, skipping these steps doesn't just mean a messy wall. It means lost time, wasted money, and an unhappy client who definitely won't be calling you back for their next project.
So, let's quickly map out our journey today. We'll start with an overview of the 4 steps, move on to mastering your work instructions, getting your safety, tools, and materials sorted, prepping the application area, and finally, making sure you are totally ready for the finish.
All right, Section 1, Overview, the 4 steps. Let's look at the big picture. Regardless of the magical finish you're applying, whether it's a really delicate faux marble or some intricate stenciling, you're always going to follow these 4 overarching phases. Step 1 is planning and preparation, which is honestly where the profitability of your job is decided. Step 2 is preparing the area to protect the client's property. Step 3 is applying the finish. That's the fun part where you show off your skills. And Step 4 is cleanup. Think of this whole thing as a continuous cycle. If you fail to clean up properly in Step 4, leaving dirty brushes and half-open cans everywhere, well, you're already sabotaging Step 1 of your very next job.
There's a golden rule in your advanced application materials. The success of a mirror finish is 90% preparation. I really want you to internalize this. A beautiful finish is almost entirely about what you do before you even pry the lid off that paint can. If your prep fails, your finish fails. It's literally that simple.
Moving right along to Section 2, Master your work instructions. This phase actually kicks off at your desk.
Before you ever pick up a brush, you need a single source of truth. Your work instructions are exactly that. They combine all the details from technical plans, written specs, workplace policies, and client requests. Paying super close attention to these blueprints ensures you bring the exact right materials to the job site. Just imagine the nightmare bringing a traditional oil-based glaze to a site when the specs explicitly required a low VOC, water-based acrylic for a commercial hospital ward. No way. That's a terribly costly mistake that'll set the whole project back for days. So whether it's a formal document or a simple purchase order, interpreting these accurately is step number 1.
Now, your work isn't just about making things look pretty. It's heavily regulated for a very good reason. You absolutely must ensure your task complies with industry standards to keep yourself, the building users, and the environment totally safe. What does this mean on a day-to-day basis? Well, work health and safety guidelines are there to protect your lungs and limbs. The National Construction Code ensures the building stays structurally sound and habitable after you're done. And specific Australian standards like AS/NZS 2311 basically guarantee that your paint job won't fail prematurely because of bad weather exposure or improper application.
An essential part of all this compliance is understanding the actual quality of the products you're using. And the Australian Paint Approval Scheme, or APAS, is a massive help here. By checking for APAS certification, you know for a fact that your products meet minimum quality standards and, crucially, that they're free of toxic ingredients like lead and chromates. Using certified products doesn't just give you a better finish, it builds immense trust with your clients.
Okay, let's shift gears to Section 3, Safety, Tools, and Materials. Time to head out to the van and get our gear together.
Once you're out the van, your first physical task is identifying and checking your specific tools. Are your stippling brushes actually clean? Are your rag rollers free of dried, crusty flakes from that last job? Calculating exact paint quantities right here reduces waste and sets you up for a brilliant workflow. You need to verify that everything is checked and ready. And hey, if you spot a faulty ladder or a frayed extension cord, tag it and immediately remove it from service. A faulty ladder isn't just a minor inconvenience, it is a massive liability that can end your career before it even really starts.
And please, whatever you do, never assume that a new brand is going to behave exactly like your old favorite. Every product is chemically distinct. Adjusting paint viscosity using the manufacturer's recommended thinner is absolutely vital if you want to avoid drips or ropiness in your final coat. Always check those specs before you start mixing. Applying paint that's too thick because you just skipped the thinner, that will completely ruin a delicate stencil job, turning crisp, clean edges into a gloopy mess that you'll just have to sand back and redo.
Which brings us to Section 4, Prepping the Application Area. We've arrived on site.
So, first things first. Before you open a single can or lay down a tarp,
you've got to properly fit your correct PPE. Whether that happens to be a respirator for strong solvents, your safety boots, gloves, or ear protection, it needs to be fitted snugly, not loose, and specifically chosen for whatever hazards are on your current job. Building a safe environment happens in a really strict sequence. You arrive and immediately put on that PPE. Next, you do a thorough site safety check. Keep an eye out for loose floorboards or exposed wires. Then you set up your physical barricades and signage to keep untrained folks out of your workspace. And finally, you establish ongoing ventilation using windows or HVAC systems to keep the air totally clear of fumes. Seriously, do not skip a single step in this sequence.
A huge part of this phase is simply being proactive. Construction sites are notoriously high-risk environments, right? But by setting up barricades, reviewing your safety data sheets, and checking for ignition sources like naked flames or sparking power tools, you are actively preventing serious hazards and potential chemical fires. Even just keeping incompatible products segregated is a super easy step that stops massive disasters.
Once safety is totally locked down, you physically protect the surrounding surfaces from splatters. Tape those edges, tarp the floors, remove the door hardware. Then comes the absolutely critical step, ensuring your working substrate is perfectly clean and sound. I literally cannot stress this enough. There can be absolutely zero dust, grease, or loose material on that wall. Why? It's all about adhesion and chemistry. If you apply a super expensive decorative glaze over a greasy thumbprint or just a layer of drywall dust, the paint bonds to the dust, not the wall. Within weeks, your gorgeous decorative finish will just peel right off and you'll be back there fixing it for free.
And that brings us to Section 5, ready for the finish. We made it through the prep phase. So, I want to leave you with this thought. After all that planning, the compliance checking, the meticulous setup, is your surface truly ready for the magic? Because if you maintain these exact high standards of preparation, your finishes won't just be good, they're going to be absolutely flawless. Great job today, and I'll catch you in the next module.